As the saying goes, variety is the spice of life. This saying is applicable to video games too. Whether duking it out in a wrestling ring or gunning down anything that looks at you funny, being able to switch between many playable characters helps keep things fresh. Then, just when you least suspect it, you stumble across the most surreal of characters, leaving you staring blankly at your television while pondering over the timeless question: why? These are 5 of the most interesting playable characters in gaming. The Siphon Filter trilogy for the PlayStation was pretty big during its heyday. After a successful release, featuring super sneaky spy Gabe Logan and his other buddies, a sequel made its way out in the new millennium. Not only did it bring split-screen multiplayer to the table, it also introduced a series of challenges with 5 difficulty modes to unlock. The modes include killing every target, assassinating baddies while unseen, stealing an item undetected, and much more. To accompany these are a large selection of playable characters to choose from. For unexplained reasons, a bag lady is one of said playable characters. It's quite a sight watching a homeless woman drop her begging cup in favor of a pump-action shotgun, dispensing justice wherever she sees fit. It's a fine example of why she deserves whatever spare change you might have. Few shooters offer the players the chance to play as a primate against a squad of Russian soldiers fighting in a Chinese restaurant. The surreal cult classic Time Splitters series is unique because of its vast selection of weapons, maps, and cast of both serious and oddball playable characters. The monkey was introduced in the second game of the series, and is considered to be the mascot of the game. Each character in the game has a gallery description, which tells us a bit about them. However, the game just tells us, it's a monkey. In Time Splitters Future Perfect, it states, yep, it's still a monkey. In both the second and third entries, there are monkey-themed challenges, a special variant of deathmatch called Monkey Assistant, which summons a swarm of primates to help the loser, and even an overpowered monkey gun in the third game, which fires 64 banana pips in 2 seconds for maximum damage. On top of that, the third game also stars a ninja monkey, the cyborg chimp, and an undead primate called Brains. Also, there's a techno track called Like a Monkey, which sounds just as awesome as its name suggests. Sega's attempt at a crossover fighting game was pretty lackluster in terms of its roster. It was predominantly made up of people from Virtua Fighter, along with some of the forgettable side characters of the Sonic series. The strangest of all, though, is Hornet from the racing game Dayton, USA. The word fighter is a bit of a stretch here. After all, Hornet is a racing car. It bounces on its rear wheels and smacks enemies with its front ones, somehow disconnecting them in mid-air as it attacks. When Hornet receives too much damage, chunks of metal will fly off its frame. As a result, it adopts a different character's moveset. Oh, and when it gets hit, you won't hear screams of pain, just the revving of an engine. Petrol heads, this one is for you. You don't have to be a sports fanatic to enjoy the cartoonish basketball antics of NBA Jam, even if the addition of numerous athletes to choose from doesn't sound too appealing. Developing company Midway loved to slip secrets in their games, especially hidden characters. In early versions of NBA Jam Tournament Edition, fighters like Scorpion and Raiden from Mortal Kombat could be picked. So, did they mix up a basketball tournament with the Mortal Kombat tournament? Regardless, they were removed from later versions of the game. Still, console players were in for a treat. When Bill Clinton wasn't flirting with women, and decades before his wife Hillary went insane and thought she could be president someday, the two could be used to slam dunk their way through a different kind of court they're likely used to by now. And from West Philadelphia, born and raised, were Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. All those years of chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school meant these two were the freshest dudes in the game. As cheap as it may sound, just about every pugilist in the Japanese fighting game Tobu 2 is an interesting inclusion. In total, the game features a whopping 200 plus characters, a record that still hasn't been beaten to this day. Admittedly, some of these characters are clones of one another with slightly different designs or new colors. One of them is named Dog. It kicks, it bites, and it howls on victory. And it howls on victory. Other oddballs include lizards, chunks of a totem pole, a dragon, a plant, multicolored blobs of jelly, stars, and even construction equipment. Generic title characters like Boxman, Thin Man, miners and shopkeepers, a priest, a wise man, and even a bird that strongly resembles the chocobo creatures from Final Fantasy can be used in battle. Since the game sold poorly in the West, Tobu 2 never officially made its way out of Japan. While some might argue it was a case of quantity over quality, the sheer number of unexpected and unexplained additions to the roster is precisely the reason why every character in Tobu 2 deserves a spot on this list. For more top lists just like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to check out our other top lists. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks for learning.